Good morning, grade 8. How was your 1 month holidays? I suppose you all were enjoyed your 1 month, not 1 month. So after the exam, totally relax, right? Okay. First chapter we had done regarding to matter, that is solid, liquid, gases, atoms, molecules, characteristics of solid, liquid, and gases. Once again, I'm going to just recap for a few minutes all these things. See about the solid. Generally, we are saying that a substance which is rigid or solid. Exactly. But why it is rigid? So generally the meaning of solid having fixed shape, size as well as fixed volume. Similarly for the liquid, its shape and size change according to the material, means where you are going to keep that liquid, but the volume remain always same. Suppose I am going to take 1 liter of water in a bucket, and that 1 liter of water I just going to keep in bottle. Only the shape is going to change, but their volume remain same. These all things depends on kinetic energy of the molecules. So in solid, kinetic energy is the least. Molecules vibrate at the mean position. During the period of mean position, suppose this is the particles, right, like this. So it vibrate in these mean position. Okay, so that is why they are having rigid structure. Their intermolecular force is maximum. Intermolecular space is the least. Similarly, in liquid, molecules having less kinetic energy means motion. So due to that motion, it can move from one place to another place slowly. That is why its shape and size change according to the shape of the container, while its volume remain same. But in case of gaseous state, you know what? In gaseous state, its energy, I mean to kinetic energy of the molecules are maximum, and the reason of that, it escape out from one point to another point fastly. That is why it's having neither fixed shape nor fixed volume. So now the all things we discussed already in the previous chapter. Today we are going to discuss new chapter, and the name of that chapter is physical quantity and this measurement. In 6th standard, in 7th standard, you already had studied about you already studied about state of matter, density, volume, everything we discussed. But today we are going to discuss more about density first. Before that, I just want to tell you about the physical quantities. You know, physical quantities, that is your N into U. What is N? N is the magnitude of any physical in any terms, and U is its unit. Suppose I am going to say about the distance. You know, distance measured in meter, right? So that is meter. Here nothing is 1 meter. 1 is here magnitude and meter is its unit. Similarly, if you say speed, so that is meter per second, right? Meter per second, that is your unit. So now there are two things of physical quantities. One is the fundamental unit of physical quantities. Fundamental physical quantities, or second one is derived. right? So fundamental physical quantities, that these all you had done in your previous classes, but I'm just going to recap all these things. So fundamental physical quantities means what? Those physical quantities which do not depends amongst themselves. Means suppose you will say about the unit of distance and unit of time. I think it's a meter and it's a second. So meter and second both are different units. They do not reliable to each other. They are totally depends to itself. That's why it is called fundamental unit. But what about the derived unit? Derived unit are those physical quantities which depends on fundamental unit. Like meter per second. It depends speed, right? Unit of meter per second, unit of speed, and it depends on what? Distance as well as time. That is why it is called meter per second is a derived unit, right? So this is the concept of fundamental unit as well as derived unit. Now our topic is today about the density. Now what is density? I know you all had studied in 7th standard also. I only taught you. So now what is density? Density equal to, I am going to write first form, density equal to mass upon volume. Means, what is density? How to define? Mass per unit volume is known as density. Mass per unit volume is known as density. Right? So there are factors you can see affecting the density. Density, what is the relation? Now how can you justify the relation between density and mass and density and volume? There's a good question should be in your mind. What? There is a relation between density as well as mass. Another, there is a relation between density and volume. So what the relation? There are two relations. If mass is more, density will be more. Right? If mass will less, density will be less. Another relation, if density is, volume is more, density is less. Volume is less, density will more. You can see one of the best example in your home. There is an ice cube, right? Do one thing, take a glass of water or a plate of water and keep it in a freezer, right? In frozen temperature. You could be able to see it will form a solid structure. Both having same volume, right? But whenever you are going to keep in different states, so its volume expand in solid state, right? So density will be lesser and they start to float. You will do this experiment yourself. So density, what is the relation between density and mass? More the density, more the mass. More the mass, more the density. Less the mass, less the density. And what is the relation between density and volume? These are the reciprocal to each other. So one of the important point, density increases if mass increases and vice versa. What do you mean by vice versa? Vice versa means the opposite. If density decreases, mass decreases, right? So the another concept of the second terms, density, if density increases, if volume decrease, that is density or volume, both can say volume or density are reciprocal to each other. Clear? I have written two things and it is important. Density increases if mass increases and vice versa. Density increases if volume decreases. That is, volume or density are reciprocal to each other. Clear? Now, see, it is a physical quantity. Naturally, all the physical quantity having unit. Similarly, density having also unit. What is the density of unit of mass? That is kilogram in SI system. SI unit, I know you all aware about the SI unit as well as CGS unit. In 7th standard also you have done. Once again, SI means internal system and CGS means it is generally it depends on centimeter, gram, second, like this. So SI unit of density is the kilogram and volume is meter cube. So kilogram meter cube. SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. Clear? Once again recap. Density equal to mass upon volume. Density increases if mass increases and vice versa. Density increases if volume decreases and again vice versa. Means volume or density both are reciprocal to each other. Okay, and SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. Clear? Up to the mark, you are aware to all these things. Now, CGS unit. It is SI. Now we are talking about CGS unit of density. It is gram. Why? Mass is in gram and volume is in centimeter cube. So it is gram centimeter cube. So CGS unit of density is gram per centimeter cube. Either you can write like this, kilogram per meter cube, or sometime you can write like this also. No one can deduct the marks. Okay. Similarly, here you can write gram per centimeter cube like this. You have to read both the word like this only, but writing way you can write different way. Now one more thing. There is a relation between kilogram per meter cube and gram per centimeter cube. What's the relation? So 1 kilogram per meter cube. Look at here. 1 kilogram is what? 1000 gram. And 1 meter cube means what? 1 meter into 1 meter into 1 meter. Last year also 7th standard, when we were at least in A division, we had done. So 100 into 100 into 100. So it is 10 to the power 6 centimeter cube. That is your 1 meter cube, right? So substitute the value. 10 to the power 6 centimeter cube, right? So 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power 6 gram per centimeter cube. Cancel, 3 will be there. So it is 10 to the power minus. It will be 10 to the power minus 3 gram per centimeter cube. Or you can say 10 to the power 3 cross multiply, then you get 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube equal to 1 gram per centimeter cube. Okay. Now more things about the density and volume we are going to discuss in the next video. Please continue to observe the video. Thank you. Now we are going to discuss about the density of liquid as well as irregular solid. See, you know, whenever we will go in a laboratory, then we having different apparatus like conical flask, measuring cylinder, beaker. These all are device. It's made up of glass. So it will help you to measure the density of given liquid. You know one thing, it's not in your book. I'm going to tell you one trick to learn the formula. See, make a triangle. Here mass. Draw a line like this. In center one line. Here density and it is volume. Right? If you have to find out mass, so multiplied it. See, look at line, right? So mass upon density, you are going to get volume. Mass upon volume, you are going to get density. This is a trick to learn. It's not a rules, but this is a trick to learn how to find out any one of them. Suppose you have to find the mass. See, both are in the lower case, so multiply it, right? If suppose you have to find volume, so mass upon density. If suppose you have to find density, so mass upon volume. Okay, this is a trick to find out any of the three things. Now come to the point about the syllabus. That is how to find out the density of liquid. I said there is a measuring flask, conical flask, then beaker. These all having written in volume. You are going to get volume. You are going to get volume. Suppose one of the measuring flask is like this. Okay. This is the measuring flask. It's mentioned here 100 ml till here. That means the volume of this liquid in this container is 100 ml, and you put 75, 50, 25 and 0. Okay, means you kept some liquid inside and up to here. So volume you got 50 ml. Okay, and by using Beam balance, you measured the mass of this entire apparatus with liquid. Sometimes you got suppose 100 grams. Just suppose you have 50 gram only. Yes. So I said 50 this Pura container. So I said to find out density, mass along with you, volume. So mass upon volume is density. So it is 50 upon 50. That is 1 gram per ml. But density you are going to not write in ml. But then how can you change? You know 1 ml equal to 1 cc. What is cc? Cubic centimeter. So density is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Remember one thing. This is last year in 7th standard you all had done 1 liter equal to 1000 milliliter, and 1 ml equal to 1 cc. So 1 liter equal to what? 1000 cc. Cc means cubic centimeter. Don't say cc of bottle and glass. So 1 liter is 1000 cc means 1000 cubic centimeter. Here it's a ml, so it will be 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Again, 1000 liter equal to 1 meter cube. Implies that what? If I said 1 liter, then it will be 10 raised to power minus 3 meter cube. These all will help during numericals. Okay. Now I said about you can able to find out the density of liquid, but how to find out the density of solid if it is kept in liquid and the shape you don't have? See, there is a particular shape, then you can able to find out. But if you don't have the shape, then how to find out? It's very easy. Suppose you are going to same figure I am taking here. Like it was earlier 50. I kept a irregular shape inside this one, and then volume become 75 ml. Once again I am repeating. I just kept one irregular solid inside this beaker, and volume level was 50 ml. Now it become 75 ml. Right? So what is the change in liquid? See, it is volume V1 and it is V2. So change in volume how much beta? Change in volume? (75 minus 50). That is 25 ml. It is 25 cc, cubic centimeter. I said mass already given. Suppose I said mass is given 20 gram. Right? So what's then density? Density is the mass upon volume. density is the mass upon volume. It will be 20 upon 25. That is 4 upon 5 gram per cc. Yes, so it is 0.8 gram per cc. Clear? Now, another things are relative density. What do you mean by relative density? What is the meaning of relative density? Coming up. The word is relative density. Generally the ratio. Relative density is the ratio of density of substance to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. So earlier it was compulsory to write 4 degrees Celsius, but now these days it is not mentioned to write down to 4 degrees Celsius, but you must have to write 4 degrees Celsius. Once again I am going to repeat. What is relative density? It is the density of ratio of the density of given substance to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Density of substance upon density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. In your syllabus, it is not written at 4 degrees Celsius, but you should write at 4 degrees Celsius. Okay? Relative density is a ratio. So, what is the unit of density? The unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. So, both have having density. So, kilogram per meter cube to the kilogram per meter cube has been cancelled, right? So what is the unit then? No unit. Relative density, no unit, because it is a ratio. Got it? Because relative density is a ratio, so there is no unit. Now sometimes suppose you forgot this definition of relative density, that is the ratio between density of substance to the density of water. Instead of that, you can write which one? The ratio of the mass of the given substance to the mass of water at same volume. But whenever you are going to write here mass of substance and mass of water, then volume you must have to mention. What? Look at here. Or ratio between mass of substance at certain volume to the mass of water at same volume. Means volume of substance and volume of water should be same. Then only this definition is correct. Otherwise, you will get 0 marks. So, relative density, it is the ratio between mass of substance at certain volume to the mass of water at same volume. Again, I am going to recap. Relative density is the ratio of density of substance to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius, or it is the ratio between the mass of substance at certain volume to the mass of water at same volume. Both the answer is right. You can write this one or this one. One more thing, relative density, see, generally the unit of density is kilogram per meter cube, or CGS system gram per centimeter cube. But in case of relative density, it is unitless because ratio does not have unit. Now, on the behalf of that relative density and density, there are so many cases we can discuss, and in further, that is your relative density based Archimedes principle. One of the scientists, Archimedes, he just explained about the density, relative density as well as density. You know, just now I gave one example. I took a beaker or a measuring cylinder I took, and I kept a solid, the layer of water raised, right? Or liquid, whatever, water or liquid, whatever is given there. So it raised, right? But have you think why it happened? That is only explained by one of the famous scientists. The name of that scientist was Archimedes. And today we are studying about in daily life about the Archimedes principle, and there are so many cases based on Archimedes principle. Little bit I am going to explain about the upthrust and thrust. It is not right now in your syllabus, but I am going to explain about this. So, what is the meaning of thrust? See, suppose I just have to, hammers. By the hammers, I just keep it inside the wall. So, I am going to apply the perpendicular force, right? So, this types of force is called thrust, perpendicular force. So, in liquid, suppose there is a liquid, I just keep a substance inside it. So, it apply the force inside the liquid. And instead of that, liquid also apply a force. The force which applied upward, that is called upthrust in a liquid. Okay, due to that upthrust, there are some cases, and these cases are very important in our daily life that I am going to explain in the next video. Thank you. Now one more topic we have to discuss, that is floating and sinking. I was talking about upthrust. So suppose that there is a container. In this container, liquid is there, right? One of the solid particles is inside this, so it applies the force downward. Instead of that, liquid also apply force upward. So this force is called upthrust. FB. Sometimes it is also said buoyant force. This force is called buoyant force. So body can sink or float. It depends on this buoyant force. The detail of all these things we have to discuss in 9th standard. But I'm just going to give you short and perfect explanation for that upthrust. Upthrust means, suppose you just take an example. You're going to take a needle, okay, or iron nail, or another thing. I have marker, right? I just throw both the substance in liquid. You could see it float or immerse on the surface of liquid, and that iron nail sink into the body. So this both apply the force inside the liquid. Liquid also applied reverse force, and that reverse force only is called upthrust, right? And it applied force W. W is also force, that is called weight, mg, right? So now there are three cases for floating and sinking. One, if Fb is greater than weight, means the force which exerted by liquid is more than the weight of an object, the body will, see, remember, this is very important thing I am talking, body will float. Okay, second case, if Fb is equal to weight. So what will happen in this situation? If buoyant force and weight both are equal, so it immerses on the surface of liquid, like ice. More or less, density of ice and water is slightly different only. That is why ice immerses on the surface of water. So body will immerse. Sometimes you can say here double M also. Third, Fb is less than weight. That is, body will sink. To know about the clarity about these all things, one of the best example I am going to tell you, that is your iron needle and or iron nail or iron ship. Okay, you know very well ship is also made up of iron and nail, that is needle also is made up of iron. Do you know, what's your observation? Needle or nail sink into the water while iron made ship does not sink into the water. Why it's so? Both are of iron, but one of the substance sink into water while same materials, same thing, only their body is changed, so it floats. Right? So it depends on the weight of the body. Now you know the iron made needle, the weight of iron made needle or nail is more than the displaced water, weight of the displaced water. So what will happen? Body, that iron nail sink into water. Why? An iron made ship, due to hollow shape, the shape, it also depends on the shape and size. Due to the hollow shape of the ship, what happened? The weight of the ship is less than the weight of the displaced liquid. Or in short, you may say the density of ship is less than the density of displaced liquid. Then what will happen? Body will float. That is the big difference. Same material, only their structure is different. So one is sink and another is float on the surface of water. Again, some other thing you can think. See, you know, sometimes you can see that person made the record for 7 hours swim in water, in ocean, in Pacific Ocean, this ocean, that ocean. Always we are going to dive, make the records of the divers. Do you know how it's possible? Question is very important. It is easy to swim in sea water rather than the river water. Why? Because see, look, there are two bodies. One is the sea water, another is river water. But a swimmer, like you suppose want to swim in water. So you are same for sea water as well as for river water. But it is easy to swim for you in sea water rather than the river water. Do you know why? Because in sea water there are so many other minerals, particles are there. So density of sea water is more than the density of river water, right? That's why it's easy for you, because your density is same. Now medium density is different, either in river water or in sea water. The density of sea water is more, but you displace the same volume. You displace the same volume, that is density for you same, but density of sea water is more than the density of river water. Then what will happen? That way it is easy to swim in sea water. So there are so many cases, it's already given in your textbook. So I just explain you the basics of these all things. So this is the concept of your chapters. Once again, we will discuss about the numericals. So I hope you will go through all the chapters, and whatever the notes I will send in portal, please write down in your notebook. I hope now everyone got your notebook. So better to write in your notebook. Thank you very much.